I'm going to apply for the Noob Journey, but I'm 21st in the world in time trial around, where was it?
Spain.
Spain!
He had all assists on, to be fair.
I don't give a flying shit if he had stabilizers on. He's still 21st in the world. It's absolutely outrageous. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, welcome to Spain for the F1 Noob Journey. The next round here, you join me in the pits in a wet qualifying. So we go from Russia, which was a wet, into Spain, which is also wet.
I hate this.
So, little insight into this race. I had created probably the best setup I had ever seen in my life for this track, but I wasn't expecting it to be wet. The setup is dry, it works really well in the dry, in the wet, not so much. You join us for my fastest quali lap on the intermediate tyres, going to turn 1 third gear. It was basically dry. I'd got the timing all wrong. The plan was I actually went and had some dinner, I believe, during qualifying, and which was brave. But I knew it was going to dry up come the end of the session. What I didn't expect is for my outlap to be wet, and then my actual quick qualifying lap to be pretty much bone dry. So I went out on the inters expecting to stay that way, and turns out it was very much soft tyre conditions as we go around the outside of Master there. I mean, the lap I put together was good enough. I know I was a lot quicker in quali. I was thinking to myself, if I could just get a lap here and get somewhat up the grid, not get caught in the middle, so I don't get hit going into turn 1, I'd be fine. You know, I'd get a good getaway, and then from there I'd go on and hopefully finish second again. That was the plan. I'd needed points after Russia and China, 2 DNFs in 2 tracks. Well, China I'm not good at, as you can see, the puncher, and then eventually lagging out. But Russia, I thought I had a good chance. I was setting good laps when I was practicing, and there's the lap invalidation, which leads to me actually just leaving the set. Oh, we might get one more lap in here, will we? Are we going to beat the countdown across the line? No, we are not. As we cut on to race day here in Spain, after awful qualifying, we join you on the grid in Catalonia, looking at my strategy. Soft tyres to medium tyres, taking a little bit of fuel from out the car, not a lot, but I feel like I always have too much left over, as we are sat on the grid here waiting for everybody to connect to the lobby, ready to go on the formation lap. Hopefully I'll be able to run you through the grid here. Can't quite remember where everybody qualied. I eventually finished P8. Not the best quality I've had. Obviously, I've been in the top 3, top 5 for the last couple of races. And being down here is unknown territory for me in this championship. So let's talk about quality a bit. So it started off wet, soaking wet, and then it went to inters for the majority of the session, which made us as a group of drivers, some of us were waiting it out like myself, and some people putting intermediate laps while it was still wet, which, you know, they ended up setting good laps, and I ended up screwing myself over and going out on inters when it was actually dry. So that was the story of quali. My 5 laps of practice, which is all I really do, went relatively well. Was setting some good laps, some pretty clean laps. I think I had to restart like 1 lap maybe, because I know I can go quick around here. I just had to get all the power out the car, from my wheel, from my feet on the pedals, into the game, and ace this track. So if we have a look at the cars on the grid here in the formation lap, you can see half of the grid is just sat on the grid waiting, just sat there waiting for us dickheads who aren't going to hit each other to finish the lap. So before the race as well, we had a little chat about my ultimate setup, which will be forever hidden for only myself and diehard fans' eyes, as I ended up letting him in on the little secret. I know he's had an unfortunate few races, for example Russia, where he qualified right up there, and I felt like he could use the extra hand, as we are reforming on the grid here, and during the race you'll be able to see how godly my setup is around here. It probably will be altered for tracks like Monaco, but for the majority of the races I will be using the setup I used. As we get on the grid here for 5 red lights, and we are underway here for the Spanish Grand Prix. A great start from us there as we managed to get master straight off the start, heading into turn 1. It is about 4 wide with the leaders. We see a spot here and we just try and pip it in there, and we get it. We are in P4. Pepsi Max spins out. Nimao hits us and spins us off in turn 1. At this point I was fuming. I didn't want to join the track and go, so I let everybody go past. P12 we are in. From P8 to P12, not bad. We haven't lost that many positions, but in turn 1 I felt like I had a really good chance, and here now I'm just in absolute angry rage mode. As we have a look at Frobo Jobo around the outside, maybe as you're thinking about the move, we think better of it. We get the better traction coming out of that corner. We managed to catch him later on the brakes in second gear, hit the apex perfectly as there's a Red Bull off in front of us. We look like we're about to have him up the inside as well, as we take him no problem down into third gear. Charlie and Toro Rosso spun out there and we get him. We're in P9 on lap 1 here, taking this corner, 5th gear, hitting the apex. That's CR in front of us. Look at the traction going into this corner. Let's just take a break from the action here. Think about how my first lap has gone right now. Turn 1, spun out. Made up a few places back, it's looking good. Going into the tight left-hand corner here in Spain, I'm just about to pass my teammate, Corsa LFC. What you're about to witness is what unfolded. As we're coming into the corner now, on the brakes, the 100 metre board, we see our teammate Corsa LFC in front of us. We take him up the inside, we squeeze him out, and we've hit him. We've hit our teammate Corsa LFC. He's gone flying. We've managed to keep it together just about as we overtake Diehard Fan 24 out on the side there. Dear Mr. Corsa, after looking at what happened going around that left-hander in Spain, I would like to say, get the fuck out of my way. I'm very sorry for that little message there that I had to send to my teammate after that absolutely horrific incident. And after looking at this, Quickshare gets the quickest lap. We have gone from P8 on the grid to P12 to P4 in the matter of 1 lap, as we just overtook the whole grid. We are back. We are fighting for the lead of this race now. We are putting the pressure on the Mao in front of us. It's looking very, very good for us in this race. We have all of the pace going around Spain with this setup. I felt like I had superhuman grip. I felt like I could throw this car into corners and just absolutely fly around as we cut into the end of lap 3. Namao GG has been overtaken. Lucky work. Dispatched of him easy as he spun out as we hit and get the fastest lap of the race at 1:35. We are flying around here. We are pretty much 2 seconds quicker than the leader right now. So the move on the Mao there, pretty simple. He went off the track. We just got past him. No messing about. Wasn't really worthy of showing. It's a pretty basic move. As we are on the back of Corrigan, we overtake a back marker here. Is this purple first sector? Cutting on to midway through lap 5. Mexican Scene is in front of us now. The guy has just been allowed in through Twitter, hogging the back marker spots as we lose the back end a little bit. We do well to save it. This setup just gives me stupid amounts of grip. Mexican Scene runs very wide going into the left-hander where we hit our teammate, and we take him up the inside, stay in third gear for this corner, get around no issues. We are closing down on Corrigan in the lead at Quickshare here. You can look at the mini-map. The gap from lap 1 to lap 5 is extraordinary, how we've managed to close all of that down to nothing. We try not to cut the corner there as we just have to slow our car down, nearly in going to first gear to get round there. As we're coming across the start-finish straight again to go on to lap 6, we are a lot slower now, so we are losing pace. The pit stop window is very, very soon. We are trying to put in laps, use all the track, running wide on the curb there, going into the sweeping right-hander Corrigan, there's a little accident in front of us here. What's happened? There's a Renault in the sand. It looks like that's Corrigan's teammate, Frobo Jovo. Unfortunately, that wasn't the news we wanted. We wanted to see Corrigan go out there. 18-second gap behind us, 3-second gap in front of us. We have come from nowhere in this race, really. From 8th in quali, awful quali, to 12th, as we're on to lap 6. And who's that in the wall? That's another Renault. Is that Corrigan? That is Corrigan. We now take P2 after Jay Corrigan goes out into the wall, into the sand, trying to get around a back marker. Probably lost the back end. That's very unfortunate for him, as he had a very strong qualifying in Russia as well. He's getting very unfortunate with the string of race finishes he's getting here. We cut onto lap 6, coming to the end of the lap. Jay Corrigan dispatched. The pressure's still on though, as we see he is closing in on us. The pace from him, from most of the other drivers up here, was very on and off. There were some laps where people were going really quick, and other laps where they'd hit a back marker or whatever and spin off. But that's why the Noob Journey is a thing. You know, the back markers are going to be an issue. There is a mix of how good people are at F1. There's some people like me and Teak who are relatively good compared to the likes of Factual and Frobo Jovo. Hitting the apex here nicely. We've still got a back marker behind us there, but Corrigan is pitting and gone onto the hard tyres. So he is looking to absolutely bomb round, not have to worry about tyre wear, and catch me and Teak up for the race lead. As we can finally see that number 6 Mercedes of Teak Quickshare. We've been waiting for this moment the whole series. Ever since Bahrain, we've waited to get this close to him on race pace alone and overtake him. I felt like I was doing a bit of a under pressure episode, because I knew I was quicker, I knew I could catch him, I knew we had to come into the pits relatively soon. The aim was to make the move and squeeze into the pits before and breaking at the 100 metre board. Second gear, just run over the apex a bit, exceed track limits there. We're all right there. I think that is our first warning of the race, first or second. So we are Mr. Consistent, getting round without any penalties, without any issues, without any crashes. And we have now got sights on the infamous Teak Quickshare. As we lose the back end a little bit coming out of the final corner. Checking the tyre wear, 59% on the front left. We are absolutely destroying these tyres, but I knew soon was the time we were going to take P1 in this race. Going into turn 1 on lap 1. There is yellow flags. Who is that? That is a Manor in the wall. So if you could hear Faction and Parlour on the chat there, seems pretty pissed off with Teak after that little incident. We are coming into box this lap as I realise my tyres are starting to go off. Teak Quickshare runs a little bit wide going into this sweeping right hander. We lose the back end a little bit there, saving it. I knew I had to get him this lap. As he runs wide again, his tyres are struggling. We hit the apex nicely. Bad traction coming out. We're all over the place. We see the opportunity to overtake him. I was just eager to get it done. Into third gear. Just missing the apex. Teak gets a bit of oversteer, but so do we. We are matching each other here. Corner for corner, we're making the same issues. I get an amazing run coming out of that corner. We have DRS. Here we go into the tight left-hander. We have DRS on Teak. We go out of the potato, get a break late on the 100 metre board. Touch the apex, get the move done, squeeze Teak out. We are done it. We are leading the Spanish Grand Prix. We are finally leading a race properly without undercutting in the Noob Journey. It's about time. Coming over to the pit lane now. All my tyres were gone. I'm so happy we managed to make that move on Teak as we come into the pits now at the end of lap 8. Teak's trying to squeeze it past me, but he realised I was not having any of it. I was going to close him off. We are the rivalry of the Noob Journey so far, with races to come, and I messed up the braking point here and let Teak get right up behind me. Oh, so he's going to have the first pit box, so he's going to go in there. We're going to drive all the way down the pit lane in Spain. We're going to pull into the McLaren Honda pit crew as they're going to go to work on my tyres, going onto the medium, and Teak has got us in the pits. Somehow the Mercedes team put in an absolute worldie of a pit stop and has got past us as we come out into the pits. Who's coming down the straight? That is Master on the hard tyre, takes my P2, and him and Teak have a battle coming out the pits. We just let it unfold as we get Master around the outside. There he does well, manage to hold it on the inside. We see Teak go wide here. We get past Master because we have the inside line. Teak slows up. We have the ultimate traction. We take the race lead properly here. Round Spain. We have done it coming out the pits. We got mugged off by our pit crew there as the Mercedes pit boys just destroyed us in the pits. Teak wants to have a look up the inside. We're not going to give it him. Not letting him have anything. We accidentally go into first gear there, which gives him the traction. We are squeezing him out, telling him to get out of my way. Going into third gear here, hitting the apex, lovely. Getting a little bit of oversteer coming out, but it looks like we've got a better exit than Teak. As we hit the apex for that corner nicely. He's in DRS range, but he's had a bit of a problem coming out of that corner and has dropped massively behind us, considering he was right up our arse coming out of the pit stop. We run wide, going into a bit of oversteer. Teak does well, managed to dodge it. That was completely accidental there. I knew I'd messed up the corner. I was desperate to get on the power. Jeff comes on the radio there and says Teak actually has a time penalty. From there, I pretty much controlled the lead of the race. Lap by lap, overtaking back markers as we just take factual there. No messing about. Lap 15, you know, not much happened when I came out of the pits really. Overtook Teak and Master there for P1 and then just cruised around the rest of the race. Let's come on to lap 16 here. Apparently, according to Factual Impala, I lapped him twice in this race, so we had some pace going around this track. Like I said, the setup was godly. Just no issues with it. We absolutely smashed this Grand Prix today, as we have a lead of about 10 seconds to Teak. As we are slowing down. Who's this gone wide? That's another one. That's Lewis Johnson, another one of the Twitter invites into this race. Is our medium tyres are feeling good on lap 16. I was very confident on the tyres, considering the softs last me so long. There's yellow flags ahead. Somebody must have had an accident. Looks like a back marker has had a bit of a crash. As we get racing again, coming to where I hit my teammate again here, hitting the apex nicely. These laps here was just me in almost in celebration in a way. I'd managed to cross the line, no accidents, no funny business, and actually win a race. As we get oversteer there. I mean, Teak actually dropped off a bit near the end. I think he knew we had a good gap to Corrigan. I think he knew that not battling me would guarantee him a second place. Because I'm very Max Verstappen-esque when defending, as you've probably told. Moving under braking and being literally hardly ever using my brakes, as I just not ever go full brakes really, as I find that you obviously lock up a lot easier when you do that. Final lap here, overtaking the last couple of cars. Shout out to Charlie here as we're about to take him on the outside. Good lad, jumping out of the way of the race leader. It looks like we're pulling out a gap to Teak, and Corrigan is about 12 seconds behind, so he's done very well today to get on the podium. Same with Teak, managing to mess up enough to give me the lead around Spain and let me pull out a big gap. It's another AI car here that's obviously the driver's disconnected from the race, as we are coming on to the final lap, coming to the left hander. That's IDM Fatman, another one of the Twitter invites who you've probably seen around Russia in Matt's video. Well, obviously I didn't race in Russia, hardly raced in China, so I wouldn't be able to tell you much about what happens. But as you can see here, coming around the final quarters in Spain, we are going to take the race win round Spain.
Make the ground shake.
There it is then. The winner of the Spanish Grand Prix is myself. What a race that was. From the lap 1 carnage to just controlling the whole race. As we're watching the rest of the guys come across the grid here. That was a great race for me. The setup saved me as die-hard fan. After the spin, manages to come P4 using my godly setup. What a lad. He knows how to finish a race. Isn't Mal GG, the guy who hit us in lap 1, finishes in P6, deservedly so after destroying us, trying to push us off the track. As he's celebrating for P6, and rightly so. Got Pepsi Max coming across in 8th place in his Ferrari. Didn't really see much of him throughout the race. so I couldn't really tell you what happened. But that's P8. That's a very good result for the Ferrari boy, getting some points on the board in China. We're going to have a look at the incidents here, as we were talking about it in the in the chat about all the issues we've had. As we have a look at the grid here, as you can see, Rickson, myself, wins the race, picks up the 25 points. Teak Quickshare finishes behind us, with Corrigan in 3rd, Die Hard in 4th, and Master in 5th. December in 6th, Namau in 7th, Pepsi in 8th, CRMR in 9th, and Kvyat. Right, Kvyat finishes out the points. That is the Spanish Grand Prix. Very, very good result. I will finally take a race win after so many attempts, so many second place finishes. I will take a race win. Next time out, we are in Monaco. You know what that means. That's going to be collision central. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.